Hello and welcome to this video, and it's me Charles again, and we're still working on our model. We're at the final part of the model. If you're watching the video for the first time, we've been building a project finance model, looking at something related to real estate, the building of a commercial building. So if you're watching the video for the first time, you may want to look at all the other parts in the playlist. The link is below for the playlist, and then you can just follow up with it. You also have the input sheet that you can use to follow up with the building of the model. So we've been able to do everything, and these are the requirements for it. Construction cost, revenue, expense model, loan amortization. You have profit and loss statement, cash flow, discounted cash flow, and we're working on scenarios today. So let's go straight and then create the scenario analysis. So I'm going to just come here. I'm going to move this, make a copy of this. It comes to the end here, and that will take this one in. All right. So I'm going to rename this one as scenario analysis. Okay. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to take out everything here. I don't need them again, and so that is out. Let's just take them totally out. So we're going to call this one scenario analysis. So scenario analysis, and then we're going to look at all what we have to build. So if we come to the input sheet, we're to create the ability to change scenarios on the following discount rates and the interest rates. So actually sometimes these are called one-way scenario tests or one-way data tables. So we're going to have some two-way data tables to do our analysis. So let's start with the first one, which is discount rate. So I'm going to just I'm going to go to my, I'm going to come here, and I'm going to do discount rate. So my discount rate is a percentage, and I'm going to link to it, and I'm linking to it here. I'm deliberately walking towards an error, and I want you to see this error and how to fix it just in case you meet with it. So I'm going to have that one right there, and we're going to use that. So then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to have our percentages somewhere. We're going to have our percentage somewhere, and then we're going to have our, when we did our evaluation, we just want to test it to see what would be, because here we've built our model and our net cash flow. That's our cumulative net cash flow became 98.7 here. Okay, so we want to see what would it be just in case it changes. So there are many things that we can be able to test and see what would it be if it changes. So we're going to just come here and link to this other one. So we're going to link to it here. So let's see. This is a percentage symbol, and this is something like our net discounted cash flow. Let's call it discounted cash flow. So I'm going to start with having these as our headers, percentage and this. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to link this one here. You get it? And I'm going to link this percentage. So this is our, cumulative present value. This is the one for the last year. So I'm just going to pick this one here. And then what we're trying to do is to look at what would this value be if discount rates are changing. So that's exactly what we want to do. So let's try to have some values. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have some values. I'm going to just come somewhere here, and I'm going to put my 8% here, and then let's just format it to be that. 8% here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to come to this value minus 0.05. So what I actually want to do, 0. So that's what I want. I'm going to get another one here. So I'm going to do the same thing below this 8 that I've written here. Yeah. And I'm going to use a plus sign here. Plus, and link it to this 8 here. So I'm just going to come down twice. So why am I doing this? I want to see that if it goes less to this 7, what would it be? If it goes higher to 9, what would it be? So everything here, I'm just going to make it bold, and we're going to see what this one will turn out to be. So this is how you actually set it up. So you've got this is 8. This is actually what we have used in the model. You get it? We've used it in the model, and this is the value that it came out with. So we want it to calculate what all of this would be based on whatever is in the model. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to click on data and what if analysis, data tables. And so here I've set up my column as a vertical column. You can see the headers are here, the vertical column here. So whenever you do vertical columns, chances are that you have your input in columns. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, rather than use rows, I'm going to use this other one. And then it says column input cell. What this is trying to say is that this column that I have, where is the input cell of it? So I'm going to click here, which is where I get my 8%, and hit like this and come out. Now remember, I told you that I was walking towards an error, and now this is the error that has come out from our analysis. You know, it's not really doing what we wanted to do. And I actually wanted this to be a check, so that I want it to be equal to this, so that I know that there is a check. But this is what is coming out of this right now. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that when you use data tables, you get it. Data tables do not allow us to link the data table to a link to the input sheet, because to the input sheet or input cell. So this is actually the input here. You get it. This is what it is here. So I linked to it here, and data tables do not allow that to be. So what will I do? I'm going to just copy this, because that's what the model used, and I'm going to paste it as value here, and I'm going to make it blue to indicate that it is an input. And then I will come here to this input cell, and I would link to my scenario sheet. So I'm going to link to this other one here. You get it. So this should be blue. This should be blue. You get it, because this is hard coded and this is just like an input. But remember that I've linked to my scenario sheet, so you have it. So I'm going to make this green, because it's a link from another sheet. So this now becomes a link from another sheet, and then you can now see what has happened. There has just been a change in our calculation, and everything looks right. So my 8 here is the same thing as my 8 here. We didn't have anything here, so our data table has brought up everything. So here, let's link to it. Let's be sure. So this is 8. So if our discount rate is 8, this is what it would be. If our discount rate is higher, you know, it's going to reduce what our terminal value would be, or our valuation would be. So it will keep reducing it when our interest rate goes higher, and then it will become like this when it goes this way. So you see, if we should select this, insert, and create something like a line chart, you know, let's take this one out. So you would see that the series is actually coming out to be a negative slope. A negative slope in the sense that as one value increases, the other decreases. You get it? So that's just to understand the relationship between it. As one value, you know, increases, the other one decreases. So that is what it is here. Now, you could do it in the way of a row. You get it? So we're going to try to do this one in the way of a roll now. That is for interest rates, and try to see what the values come out to be. So we're going to see interest rate. So we're going to bring that interest rate as an input. We're going to do the same thing that we did before. So this is the percentage, and let's bring in our interest rates. So interest. So these are interest rates, which was 6% here. So I'm going to have it like this, and I'm going to copy it and paste it as text. So now that it is pasted here as the text, what we're going to do is come here where we have the interest rate, and then we just make it as a link to this other place, you know, and we just format it to be green. So this is what the model is using. All of our models are linking to this input sheet, but we quickly see that here, these are external links that are coming in. These are external links coming in. All right. So what we're going to do now is, now that this is set up, we're going to do it like a row. You get it? So we're going to have this linked to here, and then below here, I'm going to link to my to this value here. Okay. So this is coming out to be a row like this. And so what we actually wanted to do, let's just format this one here. You get it? So what we are going to do is to come out with, you know, other rates. So what we're going to do is just come to this one, and we're going to put 6%. 6% is going to be here. And here we're going to just reduce this by some 5%, whatever is here, minus 0.005. So we're going to just, you know, make them something like this, and we'll copy this one down. So this one helps us to look, what if the rate is less? And this one helps us to look at it, what if the rate becomes higher? So here we are. I'm going to just hit on this, copy it down. So this one is, we're going to use a plus sign here. So this one is going higher. So now we've done it like this. So I'm going to select all of this, and then we would come to this place, data tables. So now you can see that I've set up my table as a vertical table. So being a vertical table, my inputs, my row inputs are actually in a row. So I'm going to come here, and then remember that in my model, this is actually my input. So what they want you to put here is the input for your entire model. So I'm going to just link it to this, and I'm just going to do my OK, and let's see if it does what we want it to do. Sorry, let's do this. Okay. All right, so it looks like it did what it wants us to do. So you can see that if the interest rate, let's check, this 6%, and let's check if it gave us exactly that. So it did give us exactly that. That's it. So that's our check to ensure that it is equal to what we used here at the start. So if it is 5%, 5.5%, and this, we're starting to see what the values would be if it changes from whatever it is. So this is quite good. If at all you want to change anything here, you can do the changes here. So if I were doing a 10% here, so that's what you're going to see like happen here. So this is what it is, 10%, and then these are the other values if it were to either reduce or if it were to, you know, increase. So while I did this one here, 10%, I could actually come here and do another 10% here, so that it looks at less than and it looks like greater than, and tries to find out what actually happens. Okay, so that is for discount rate. So now that takes us to the next one. Create a data tables. This time around it's looking at two ways. So we're looking at the interest rate and net profit. We're saying, okay, if we're changing the interest rate and we're changing interest rate, what would be net profit? And then if we're changing the discount rate, what would be the net present value? So it's actually something like what we have done here. So this is interest rates. This is interest rates here. And the only difference, let me just copy this and bring it here. So it's going to do the same thing. So don't mind us. We had used 8% here. Although whenever we change it here, it changes in the entire model. You get it. So interest rates was not this, but 6% rather. I think that's what we did. And so this has to come to that 6% to make it work. And here, if we still leave the interest rates to be 6%, what we'll be doing is to ask ourselves, link this one to our net profit. What do they want us to link it to? Net profit. Okay. Let's go and see what that is. So I'm wondering why we should be using our net profit. Rather, I should have wanted to use this one, the closing balance. All right, let's use it for this one then. So we're going to come here and say this one is equal to this. We may have to rework this whole thing. So I'm just going to select this, come to my data here, data tables. I have it in a row, and I'm going to accept it. So you can see that it gives us this, but wait. We might be having a problem here. Okay. All right, this one, interest rate. Oh no, this wouldn't work. I think I see why. So that wouldn't work, and the reason is because I brought it in here, so the model is not using it at all. So I'm going to link it to this other one, and we're going to use this one, goal seek. So it's going to see come to this particular one here, and we'll do justice. So right now it works fine. So you can see that it's changing, and this is equal to whatever is here. So this becomes interest rates and NOI, So that becomes what that is, cumulative NOI. Cumulative NOI. So let's call that one for that. I think that's more appropriate for us to use. And then we see how everything changes right here. So discount rate and net present value, the net present value. So if we go to our scenario analysis and we look at our net cash flow for the period. So this is for the period, but this is our net present value. So let's look at it. So this is cumulative of our present value, So again, this is more like we've done this, except for that we did it on that discount rate. So the discount rate and the DCF, total discounted cash flow. Let's call this one maybe a total. should be able to give us what that is. So we actually have a scenario analysis here that looks at, you know, what the values might be if any of these things changes and so on like that. I just want to hope that this is what is expected of this this whole modeling process, and I hope you found it informative. If you have any comments, please appreciate you putting it in the comments below, and also subscribe, share, and like if actually these videos justify any of those things from you. Thank you very much for watching, and I would see you in another project. Bye bye.